motor on my way down. 650, 650, turn it around. 2,500 miles in just 4 days. What? That's how this mother trucker gets paid. Let me slow it down and be real with you. Trucking is great, but can damn near kill you. Truck stop food, piss bottle living, shower credit spinning, scratch card winning. Ain't seen home in almost 2 weeks. Don't feel bad, it's just your cotton cheese. Cooking, baking, avocado, making coffee in the truck. Truck stop food, my left nut isn't suck. Butter in my coffee, money on my mind. 12 hours later, it's quitting time. Where to park? That's the question. Stop for occasion is my suggestion. Boom.
Booty.
Keep on trucking.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Keep On Truckin' Studios. That what you just heard is my little rap song. It's called Truckin' Time Rap. You can find it on YouTube. It is not yet available on iTunes or Spotify. But it ain't even had 1,000 views. I think it at least deserves that, right? So, we don't have long because I've got a workout scheduled at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. It is now 6:18, so I need to leave. We're going to have about a 20-minute video, okay, people? But I feel better because I have a freaking plan for the first time in a while. The plan that I had at the beginning of the year got a little sidetracked, and I felt myself lacking purpose. I don't know if anybody can relate with me on that. But when I feel, it's kind of like this. If you're busy, you don't have time to be sad. You know what I'm saying? So I've had maybe a little too much free time, a little time to myself. But I'm beginning to see things come together. A light at the end of the tunnel. A path that leads to something I can deal with. I felt I was on a path that was not where I wanted to go before. So I'm going to come. This is just as much for me as it is you guys because I go back and watch Truckerjim videos too. And I'm going to go back and watch this one if there occurs moments where I maybe forget about my plan or the purpose that is involved with it. Dadgummit. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it says disc not ejected properly. Eject before disconnecting or turning it off. And what that happens is when you take a memory card out of the Mac, and these new Macs, which I'm glad I got this Mac. Thank you again to GMP Truckin because this is a 2017 MacBook Pro with 16 gigs of RAM, terabyte of hard drive, the touch bar up top. It is a machine, and it handles all of my video editing magnificently. Like you creators that edit on Adobe Premiere Pro. I hear you guys say the word rendering. I don't really know what that is. I use Final Cut in a Mac. But one thing that I don't know. There's no ports. There's just a few USB-Cs. That's it. There's nothing else there's not CD drives and USB holes and all of that. And there's no SD card. But like for the iPhone, when I want to send videos that I film with the iPhone over to the computer, you can do what's called airdrop it. But for the DSLR cameras, I have to use the memory card and this little thing called a hyperdrive. This is like $70 or $80. And it does not come with the Mac. So you have to realize, well, it's not a secret anymore. Maybe years ago it was. What was I going to do? Pull up the comments. Let's go to the Truckerjim channel. Hope everyone's having a good week. I'm having a really fun week. I have not driven a big truck this week. But, I've talked to a lot of drivers, and I kind of had a conversation with myself that went something like, Jim, you need to shut up and just go to work. Because busy people aren't depressed. They're too busy to be depressed. You got stuff going on. What's it say in the Bible? Idle hands. Did y'all like that thumbnail I just made? The one that's live? I guess so. You clicked on it, huh? Well, let's pull it up. Guess so. You clicked on it, huh? Well, let's pull it up. Guess so. You clicked on it, huh? Will this keep going? Let's pull it up. Guess so. You clicked on it, huh? Will this keep going? Let's pull it up. Guess so. You clicked on it, huh? Let's pull it up. It's gonna keep going, isn't it? So okay, let's It's gonna keep going. We will pause. Well, not pause, but cut the volume down. So it looks like Long Don Slonger is our first commenter. Congratulations to you, Don. We got Derek Bowie. Oh, so close. Derek Bowie and I, we knew each other growing up. Our parents were friends. Jose Ramirez, what's up? But Derek, I guess you're what? Hell, are you what, 2 years into your truck driving career now? I remember when you started. You were so excited. And I'm excited for you now. What are you with? You third, fourth company? I tell you, a lot of you guys. Actually, it doesn't say the company name. This says Everyday Hero. But on the back, I tell you, the more I'm learning about NFI, the more of the authentic feeling that I would be doing you a solid to get you in touch with a recruiter, because there's a lot of accounts going on. I cannot share that footage with you guys, though, because I'm on payroll to capture this footage, so it's kind of more theirs than not mine. But I met with a flatbed driver today for NFI. Been driving 25 years, got over 2 million miles. From California, but he does the pods. Those like storage containers. And man, he's 3,000, 3,500 miles every week because he's on his way up to Jersey. He's delivering there tomorrow, before 2. But the pods is a cool account. I'm not going to be uploading a video about it, though. But maybe NFI will sometime soon. But if you want to learn more about it, actually, I'm doing this live, so I can't make a thing pop up. But it's drivers.nfiindustries.com. We got Tommy Creamer, Guy Williams, Chasing America. I tell you, you three are always good about tuning in to live videos and comments on videos. And I appreciate it, guys. I will do my best to give you whatever you come to my channel for, whether it's for entertainment, encouragement, or whatever else. I don't know why people come. I don't, because I hadn't exactly been consistent over the years. Well, I say that, but I could have done a lot worse, that's for sure. But we got No Guilt Nate, he can relate, and Robert Boucher, or Butcher. I'm sorry for butchering you guys' names. I appreciate you tuning in. But he gives an endorsement for re-election for Donald Trump. Nothing wrong with the audio. It sounds fine. Well, good. I've been, oh my goodness, guys. I can't show you, but I'll tell you about it. I met with a Trader Joe's driver. He had an early morning delivery in Columbia, South Carolina. He was coming up from Daytona Beach, Florida. I know most truck drivers that live in Florida ain't a whole lot for you to do besides just stay gone a long time, unless you like the Asian My Trucker and you're a mover and all that. But there's a great account for Trader Joe's grocery stores out of Daytona. It delivers to like the Carolinas. But anyway, I got like lots of footage of the unloading process, which it's not like the Aldi deliveries that I've showed you guys before. He's just moving it to the like back of the truck, and then the Trader Joe's managers, employees, they've got a little forklift set, and there's no dock. I hear some Trader Joe's there's docks, but at this one there was no dock, so it was, like behind the store. But I bet it barely took them half hour, maybe 45 minutes. I was videoing it, but I had this little thing clipped on Phil's belt clip, right? The audio was amazing. It was so good. It was probably just as good as this audio now. But he was in the front of the trailer. It was dark. I couldn't even see him. I'm down on the ground, with my camera here, and the audio's picking up like the camera's right beside it. It's awesome. So and if I can expect to get some good stuff. But let's go on it. Well, let me finish the comments and then I'm going to tell you guys about my plan because I've only got 10, 12 minutes and then I got to end this, guys, because I got a 9-round workout. Smooth Operator is in the house. And Too Tall Rob is saying, what's up? Garage Door Trucker, about to finish off my week. I'm about to be done. Do a little home time, right? I gotcha. Trucker Beardman, you can only ignore depression so long before it catches you. It kind of had me for a little while. It was a lingering thing. It wasn't like, boom, this one moment. It seemed like the accumulation of, a lot of it was things that I ignored. And it's so easy to do that as a truck driver. And I was happiest when I was on the road. You guys said something about that because I didn't worry about nothing else. I was just out trucking and making money. And, my way of, I could just pay things or send money, and I kind of did my part. But yeah, depression can catch up with you, but you got to understand it. And what I said before is busy people generally aren't depressed. Enjoy the gifted new Samsung A20. I don't know what that is. What mic are you using? James Best, how are you, my brother from another mother trucker? It's $200, okay, for a mic. But it's wireless. It's a wireless Rode mic. I'm using this on my cell phone right now, doing a live stream. And I imagine the audio is pretty freaking awesome. And I ain't got headsets on or any of that. But the other end of it is this. Now, I've got it plugged in. Now, because I'm doing it into my phone, it's a different cord. This is the cord that goes into my big camera for it. And I just clip it on top and put the other end, wherever. But, one end goes into the camera, the other end goes into the mic receiver thing. Well, I've got another red cord because, I don't know, for cell phones or headphone jacks, whatever you want to call it, like, see, this has 2 rings on each end. A cell phone one or headphone jacks or whatever has 3. I forget exactly what they're called. And then I have, because, I can't show you this, but there's a little lightning adapter. So I've got a few cords plugged into this thing, but on the big camera, but it's made by Rode. It's a wireless Go. It's been out for about 3 or 4 months. I have not done a review on it, but James, there's tons of them online. And they come in white as well. And they have a battery life of about 7 hours of charge. But I made a mistake yesterday when I was recording Phil. After he'd finished up, he had to pull out of the dock because there was another truck to deliver some wine. So he was pulling forward, and I was, on the ground, him pulling out, and then the other guy backed in. And this is where I messed up. I should have went on over there to Phil, but because of the distance, and he was in the truck, it lost signal. But like when he was first in the truck, I could hear him in his truck with this thing. It works really, really good, especially for $200. It's a heck of a bargain. But I ended up losing signal with it, and he came out talking to me, and the rest of the time, the mics were not connected, so my audio was not. It wasn't good. It wasn't horrible, but the mic from the camera is what was working instead of the wireless. So that's a little tip. If they lose signal, do a little reset and make sure they're connected again. But I hope I answered your question, James Best. James Best was briefly in one of my Mats videos. Well, there wasn't a Mats this year, but last year. Easy to get depressed out there on the road, away from home and family and friends. See, I got depressed like being at home, driving local. Biden for president 2020. Really, Beardman. We're not going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about Truckerjim and the ass I'm going to kick over this next little bit of time. And I don't say that in an ego way. Oh, I'm trying not to anyway. But as some of you may know, I'm in a 4-bedroom house in Simpsonville, and the person that I moved in here with originally, and then the other person that moved in later that shared with expenses, they're gone now. It's just Boone and I. And I'm like, does nobody want to live with me? Like my son Chase, I've been like trying to, but you know, he's got stuff going on in Greenwood. He's got his band, so I mean, Chase is awesome. He's one of the most loving humans that I know. Um, he leans a little more towards the left than maybe my uncles would like him to, but he's a great kid, and I'm proud of the person he's becoming. And he can play a lot of musical instruments, but he don't want to live with his dad. But I posted on Craigslist. I've posted to like no response on Facebook, and then I took a flyer that I printed up. I don't think I have any of these in here. Up at the vape shop, a guy called me a little earlier. He's already come by. I think he's going to take 2 of the rooms. Yeah. So I'll be I don't know, maybe a little better off than I was originally with the first roommate, and still have another room that I don't have to rent it out. But if the right person comes along, and I can, and then that will lower his and my cost as well. That's not a done deal yet. He's wanting to think it over, talk it over, do all that. But the extra room is for his son, which wouldn't be here all the time, only like once a week. But the way court stuff is, which I'm learning, a kid needs to have their own room and everything. So that could work out really good and take a lot of extra stress off me. Now, other thing that's going on, the reason I didn't drive today, I've kind of mentioned this, but I'm doing video work for National Freight Industries, NFI, a $2 billion company that was founded back in the 30s, that is a whole lot more than a trucking company. They're a supply chain solution provider. Like when companies have problems with the supply chain, NFI've got a lot of smart people, and they figure out a way to make it happen. And the turnover is not very high on NFI accounts, but there's so many different ones. Like just this week alone, I met with the pods guy, and when I looked it up, I saw the cents per mile was like a little lower than say what the cents per mile at G&P for doing regional is, which I was at 52 cents. But Jesus, that's a lot of work with that. Man, you might hook up to 4 trailers in any given day doing that 52 cent a mile stuff. All these stops, live unloads, dropping hooks, checking in with shippers, doing all that kind of stuff. They need to pay you a higher cents per mile on that. This pod stuff is flatbed, but it's no tarping, but it's rolling. He was on his way from Florida to New Jersey, and then he's going to go to New Jersey to Florida, and then he's going to go from Florida clear across the other side of the country to California, and that's just what he does. Has his wife out there with him. He's in a brand new Volvo. I can't show you any of that footage on my channel. Not now. I don't know. Maybe after NFI put some things out and the newness is worn off. But then the Trader Joe's. And then next week, I'm going to be spending the whole week up in Bardstown, Kentucky. I've been saying Heavenly Hill. That's wrong. It's Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill. That's right. Bourbon, Bardstown, Kentucky is another NFI account. And I think I'm going to be able to really capture all, I don't even know what's going to happen yet. But I know they make bourbon there. I know bourbon gets put in barrels. It's stored for a while. And I know there's a warehouse that loads trailers and ships it out. And maybe I can go out with a truck driver too. And then I met a new owner-operator that just came to G&P, and the more I learn, I haven't talked about it too much, but G&P, NFI is a real good spot for owner-operators. And the reason I say that is the Texas fleet. I mean, from Greer to Laredo, which every load's not necessarily Greer to Laredo, because there's stuff up in Charlotte. It goes up to as high as Virginia. Some goes over to Tennessee. But loads going down to Texas or either in Houston, San Antonio, but the majority are Texas. And it's fantastic, great miles. And on the owner operators, you can stay out as long as you want to, man. There's freight. There he is. And what I'm hearing also is the expenses are, I got to get back to my plan. I ain't trying to sell owner ops, but there will be a description in the link for an online application for anybody that wants to test the waters. Because I mean, you can look on the website, but see, it updates in real time. All that's on there is like positions. Hey, we need to fill, not the ones that it may be that way next week or that are fully staffed. Right now, there's more than the job postings that's on there. But anyway, there is a link in the description of this video and all future videos that gives me credit. And if you do, please do me a solid and like bring up Truckerjim to your recruiter, because my intention is to help do not just me, but be a part of a team that does amazing things here at NFI. And a lot of it's going to be video content that's going to be viewed. But what I've always got excited more is doing it for retention to help drivers have a great career more so than recruiting. I think if you take care of your drivers and doing a lot of stuff for them, it's going to naturally attract and, indirectly recruit. But, I ain't the one running the $2 billion trucking company. I'm the one trying to find a roommate to move in so I can pay rent. So what do I know? But here's what I know is I'm going to throw 100% in everything they ask me to do. I'm going to deliver on it with a grateful heart, because I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to do that, because it's pretty freaking cool. And it's not my first time. It's kind of the second go around. So I'm a little more experienced than this time. But continued path towards good health, be in the best shape at 50. How much time do I have? I got to run through this, guys. I only got 3 minutes, and I got to get off. And I'm not going to be able to look at your comments because I got to grow. But I don't think I'm really going to make Truckerjim videos like, the kind that, there's hundreds of on my channel. I will be doing live updates like this because I want to fine-tune my being on the spot, because I'd mentioned stand-up comedy is something I'd like to pursue, so it'll help prepare for that. But I will be recording myself a lot. I was talking with my good friend Lance up in Jersey today, and the thought of trying to do a behind the scenes of, we'll just call it media director. I don't have official title, but media director stuff, going and meeting with all of these drivers, and I just like the file management of it, separating that from what mine is, and then doing this, and then trying to get my stuff too, and then making thumbnails, and I don't know, trying to make you guys feel special as far as, in comments and getting back. And I'm like, that's too much. I don't see myself winning. But, so what I'm going to do, there's planning involved, but I'm going to start working on a documentary. Yeah, I'm going to document. So you ain't going to get, weekly uploads on this. It'll be a finished product that I'm going to sell to like Netflix or something. But a documentary of the behind the scenes of this very awesome trucking media tool that's in the, well, I can't really say it's in the early stages. They've been doing this stuff for a while, longer than me, that the impact it's going to make at this supply chain solution provider. It's going to be something special. Develop comedy. I've got this book. Anybody that's like wanting to be a writer, like, I've been wanting to, but I hadn't started. Like, the whole thought of sitting there in front of a computer and bam, popping out a 110-page screenplay seemed overwhelming. Like, how do I get started? I need some help. This book really breaks it down. Talks about having, cork boards and starting out with flashcards. Typical screenplay has 40 scenes in it. It's a very informative book. It's real good. But let's move on right along. But until the media deal turns full-time, I'm still going to drive 2 weeks out of the month. But my plan is I'm going to be so exceptional at the other and provide so much value. I'm like, hey, we really need you to do this other stuff all the time instead of drive. But I will do whatever GMP wants me to do. And if it's local, I mean, I say the money's not great because I like commas. I'm used to $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, checks. But I was gone all the time, so I get it. But in a lot of these places, there are local opportunities to make that money. Probably gonna be working more than 8 hours a day, but I will do that. And I almost bought it yesterday. But I'm going to start doing some power washing on the side because I can make $100, $150 a pop in the neighborhood. And also, it'll be good for me getting out and knocking on the doors and putting myself in some uncomfortable situations, but also meeting some people I never would have known and like really cleaning up their sidewalks and their driveways, which is satisfying for me. It always makes me feel good when things are amazingly clean when they were dirty before. And people feel better about themselves when they come home and they have a clean front of their house. And while doing that, the end game is to start a company called Keep On Truckin' Productions. Maybe even video purposes too. I like both of those names. They'll probably do different stuff. And filmmaking is my end game if you guys didn't know it. But there's going to be an interesting path to get to that point because I have responsibilities, between here and there. And also, I don't currently possess all of the skills I need to do it the way that I want to do it. So this is a great opportunity to develop those skills. But guys, I got a workout scheduled. I know I went a little longer than I said I would, but I ain't going any further because it's over, people. But I will check your comments. Please communicate below, and I don't know when the next video will be. That will be on this channel, but I'm rolling out early Monday morning headed to Kentucky, people, to where bourbon comes from. But all of you, please, be safe out there and keep on